Welcome to True Tall Tales, where reality is stranger than fiction. My name is Sonny Boy, and welcome to a new episode of Triple T. Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry, I was off for a week. That was the first time I missed an episode. I was in Byron Bay visiting friends. A lot of my friends from Sydney moved there because Sydney's getting so outrageous in its prices. It's turning into New York, rent, inflation, mortgages. It's, everyone's going through it in their own way. And change is the biggest way to help improve your life. So a lot of my friends have moved there. I've got one of my best friends, Luke, who lives on this cottage, and I live in a studio in Sydney, and he pays the same rent as me, and he's got like a 3-bedroom place. He has a moat. Like we said that if zombies were attacking, he has a moat around his yard. He's 10 minutes from the beach. And he has a water fountain, like a river. He has a river in his backyard. It's just insane. There's lemon trees, lime trees, mango trees. The list go on. It was insane. I basically just went there for a week to visit my friends, Dan and Jackie and Luke, and I got to see Gabby and Jake, and who else did I see? I saw Blake and Katie. Not that you know these people. I don't know why I'm naming it. Sorry, my brain's just rambling. As you know, I have ADHD. Haven't been diagnosed, but it's there. I can't afford to get it. It's $1,500 to see a doctor, and I'd rather just go to Bali with that money. But let's start this episode. So yeah, I was in Byron, so I didn't do the episode, and it was really good to recharge, spend some quality time with, best friends of mine. And also to see what's outside of Sydney for the price that you're paying in Sydney and what you get in else places. And the funny thing about Byron Bay is I'm hot there, apparently. So, I was getting checked out heaps. And my mate Luke's like, dude, everyone's checking you out. You're hot in Byron Bay. So in Sydney, I'm not hot, but in Byron Bay, I'm hot. So maybe I'll move there for that reason. Anyway, I found that really funny. Now, I do have a true tall tale to tell you about how I shat myself a couple of weeks ago. I know if you're eating or this is not your episode, this is your time to turn off. Don't worry, it's not that disgusting. Apparently, I've told this story to a lot of my friends. I'm like, bro, I've shat myself before. So I didn't know how common it was. I knew it was common when we were babies and we had nappies, but not as an adult. Is this my midlife crisis? I don't think so. I think I'd rather have a funner, more fun, is that English? A funner midlife crisis than shitting myself. But before I get to that story, recently, a couple of days ago, I think it was just on the weekend that just went past, I was on the metro with my friend Grace. And anyone that lives in Sydney knows that the new metro opened. So basically, it's a train that's underground in Sydney that goes to other places that didn't exist. It goes really, really fast, like 120 kilometers per hour. It has that little push thing that happens when you're on a roller coaster, that little bit of G-force that hits you. That's really, really nice. And it's amazing. It's rich. It looks like Dubai. Anyone that's been to Dubai, that's what the train looks like. There's no drivers. It's all computerized, so no train drivers at all. They come every 4 minutes, and they go really, really fast. So you can get to places like within 9 minutes that used to take half an hour. So it saves so much time. There's no traffic. There's no delays because there's no train drivers. It's amazing. It's rich. It looks nice. It smells nice. I'm all for it. If you haven't been on it, check it out. And if you are visiting Sydney for a holiday, get on the Sydney Metro. It's worth every cent. But anyway, this is where I'm going with this. We were on the metro at the Sydney Metro, and it's one of those trains that goes for ages. So there's you can just see all the way down. There's no doors. All the carriages are connected to each other. Anyway, Grace and I are sitting down, and as we get there, we see a guy, I don't know, maybe in his 60s, that works for Metro, and he was, talking to this gentleman that was kind of next to us that we couldn't see, saying, look, I'm going to call the police. You need to get off this train. You can't be doing this. And we're like, oh, gossip, popcorn's out. What's going on? And then we hear the gentleman that we can't see that's sitting on the same side of us going, fuck you, suck my dick. You can all suck my dick, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, here we go. Some idiot that's on the train that's wrecking it for everyone. Like, why be a nuisance? Just, be happy. Stop bothering people. Stop using this foul language towards the people that are working on the metro. We're all trying to do our bit in life, and just being an idiot like yourself, it's just not going to get, it's just not nice. It's just not nice. And we don't need to use that language and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I was like, oh, something must be going on, Grace. So I kind of put my head, forward to turn a little bit left to look into the other carriage, which is about like 4 meters from where we were sitting, just to see what the dude looked like, because he had a bit of a foul mouth and he was swearing in front of everyone. I had a family across from me with kids, so, it wasn't nice. And as I looked at him and turned left, I kid you not, he had a snake. And it was a real snake, and this guy also had tattoos all up his face and his arms and his neck. And not that there's wrong with tattoos. Everyone in 2024 has tattoos these days, but I'm just trying to describe what he looked like. He had this foul mouth. He was swearing. He was saying, "See you next Tuesday," in front of children, and he was just being impolite. So I'm like, does this match what he looks like? And it did. And he had all these tattoos, and he had a real snake. And I'm talking like this snake was, I don't know, at least, not even exaggerating, like at least could be 4 meters. And it was wrapped all up around him. It was slithering up his neck. And I was like, oh my God, Grace. And she goes, what? And I was like, there's a man, that man that's going off and swearing has a snake on him. She goes, no, you're fucking kidding me. And I'm like, I swear to God, he has a snake. So she wants to look, and then she kind of leans her head forward and looks left a bit and sees it, and she goes, oh my God. And, it's like so many layers to this. If you could go, A, we're underground on a train. B, animal cruelty. A snake should not be in a train underground. C, so dangerous. There is kids around, there's families around, there's humans around. And, it's an animal. It's a reptile at the end of the day. Like, if it's going to bite someone, it could probably bite someone. It's not its normal habitat. It should be in the bush, should be in the rainforest. Or if it is a pet snake, have it in its aquarium or cage or whatever you keep it in. But it should not be on a train like you're fucking walking a dog. That's all I'm going to say. And it was. Then he thought it was cool, and he's swearing at people, and he had it, and people were frozen. And no wonder why the Sydney Metro guy's like, I'm going to call the police, and these guys like, call the police. Anyway, in life recently, I've just been trusting my gut feeling. So if I get a bad feeling, I follow what my gut says, and we all should, because apparently that's about being like psychic or a clairvoyant, but I'll tap into that into another episode. So I do trust that now. So I said to Grace, hey, I think he's going to walk past us to get off the train for some reason. And I don't think you'll like that, because I don't trust this guy with a snake. And I said, let's get up and move further down in the carriage. She goes, no problems, let's do it. So we kind of walk down, being scaredy cats, but whatever. I just worry about my life and my safety, and my friend Grace's as well. So we went further down, and we got far away where we could see him from far away. So if anything happens, we got time to get away. Anyway, well, was my gut telling me the correct thing? The guy gets up, literally what I said, walked through our carriage, so he would have walked past Grace and I where we were sitting, so I'm glad we left there. And then he got the snake off his neck and started swinging it around, like he had a massive hula hoop going whoom through the carriage, and all the people sitting in the carriage are screaming and trying to run and get away from him. Like, what the fuck? On so many levels again. B, animal cruelty, that poor snake, like the fact that it's doing that. B, safety. You're swinging around a snake that could hit someone, that could, you're making it go aggressive. It's gonna, but it was so scary. Like, you're talking about that movie, Snakes on a Plane. This was Snakes on a Train, and this scary guy was walking the real snake, just swinging it around. Now, he got off at the next stop, and he was just an attention seeker. It's just like, people who do this, it's just like, what are you doing? Where are your friends and family? You're walking around with a snake trying to like disturb people on a relaxing train ride going from A to B. Like, I don't know. Even if he was going to the vet or something with it, we don't know what his story is. Don't get it and swinging around and try to hit people with it. Like, anyway. I got off the train, we were safe. I will put a video up. I filmed 3 seconds of it. I kind of just leaned forward, filmed 3 seconds, and then went back because I was too scared that I'd get caught filming. And I didn't want to put myself, others, and my friend in danger. But yeah, so how crazy is that? Like, that's the first time I've ever seen a snake on a train. Snakes on a train! But yeah, I'll put the video up for anyone that's watching this on YouTube. I'll also put it on socials when I upload this episode. Now, let's get to my true tall tale, because this is what the podcast is all about. It was about me shitting myself. So anyway, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, I had my wisdom teeth out because I did a podcast episode about it, about the aftermath, what to eat, what to do, because they don't tell you that at the dentist properly. So I gave it in more detail. So anyone that's getting their wisdom teeth out or know of someone, send that episode to them. But where am I going? So yes, so obviously I didn't really eat properly for 2 weeks. I'd say 10 days because you're eating like, baby food, soup, mashed potato, but no solids or anything. So once after 2 weeks I could eat solids again, I was like, sweet, I'm going to meet up with my friend Connor, and we haven't caught up in a long time. So what a great way. Let's go get some pub food. And we went to this pub because I had a card that could get 40% off. And as you know, 40% is a lot. And everyone in Australia or Sydney loves pub food. Like pub grub, mashed potatoes, sausages, gravy, chicken schnitzel, palmy, steak if you're being a little bit extra. Like the list goes on. Pie. Pub food's great. And I have this card that gets me 40% off at certain pubs. So I said, all right, let's go to this pub and let's just get heaps of food and let's just eat, because I haven't eaten in a long time. And my friend Connor's like 8 foot tall, so he's always hungry. So we, go and we meet up at the pub. I won't say what the pub is, not that I need to know, but just in case. Great pub, by the way, in the inner west. And we order a lot of food. We get Karaji chicken, we get a steak, we get a chicken palmy, we get potatoes. We just order 4 meals, and we order beers as well because we're getting 40% off. So why not? And then we can just share all the food. It was great. I'm excited. We ate the food. We had some great conversations. We caught up. Everything was done. Then just literally out of nowhere, my stomach just started hurting. Like I got knots in my stomach. And I said to my friend Connor, like, I feel really sick. Like I really need to go to the toilet to do poo-poo. And anyone that knows me, I don't really... Like I wee, but if I try not to shit in public, and I say that as in like if it's just a pub, I try not to shit in public. If it's a really nice toilet and I need to go, of course. But if I need to do a poo and I know I'm going to be home, in a couple of hours, I can just hold on to it and do a shit when I get home. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm a germaphobe, but not to that extent. I just like shitting at home or in a nice toilet. Anyway, couldn't hold this one. Needed to go. Went to the toilet and started shitting. And when I was shitting, my stomach was hurting. So I was getting knots, and it felt like someone got a knife and was stabbing me in the stomach. And I was just like, ow, ow, ow. This is so sore. This is so sore. And then I was messaging my mate saying, I'm so sorry. I've been here for 15 minutes. He's like, dude, it's okay. I have IBS. You know that. I go through this every time. And I was like, wow, that's so sad that you have to go through this. This is awful. So I was like, right. So I finished, got out, wiped my bum, washed my hands, went back outside. Hey, Connor, so sorry. Well, here we are catching up, and I'm suddenly running to the toilet to do a shit. And he's like, dude, I have IBS. You know what it's like. And I'm like, weird that it's not happening to you because we both ate the same food and he has IBS. So it wasn't food poisoning or anything because he would have got it because we shared everything. It's not IBS. So I'm like, why? So then as it was happening, I was out there for like 2 minutes and then I had to race back to the toilet. So I went back to the toilet, Shat was there for 15 minutes, washed my hands, came back out, and I was like, I'm so sorry. You go home. I don't know if I'm ready to go on the train yet to go home. I was like, no, I'll wait for you. So I ran back to the toilet the 3rd time, and I shit. So now it's been like nearly 50 minutes, and my friend's been waiting for me in the pub. We've already finished eating and catching up. It's like 9 o'clock at night. It's a school night. It's like a Tuesday. So I'm like, it's getting late, Connor. Like, you should just go without me. And he's like, no, I'll wait for you. I feel really bad. So now it's nearly been an hour, and I've done, I think, 3 to 4 shits at the pub, and then I think I got it all out. So it's not your normal pooing, and the pain that I was in was hurting. So I was like, I think we're good to go now. So we left the pub and we got on the train. And as we got on the train, we're catching up. He's talking about his new projects and his business. And it was a really great conversation. And then suddenly my face started going all white. I started getting sweaty. My back started getting sweaty. And I was like, oh, God, I don't feel very well. It's like, are you okay? It's like, not really. On the train. I was like holding it in. I was clenching my bum cheeks together. And I just really needed to shit. Now, it was a different type of shit because it was like, I've already done 4 poos, and the 4 poos that I did previously at the pub were like solids. Now it was like, it felt like it was like diarrhea or something. Like I could hear my stomach going like that. I'm now on a train. There is no toilets on this train. I was like, wow, this can't be my Dumber and Dumber moment. The guy from Dumb and Dumber that shits, in that scene, anyone that's seen the movie is like leaning forward, holding his ankles. Like, this cannot be me on a train. I also had my skinny leg Subi jeans on. Anyone that knows what they are, CB jeans used to be my favorite jeans back in the day, my emo days, and I've been at the gym for the last 8 months and I've lost weight. I can now finally fit back into them. 32, if you wanted to know what size they are. So I was very happy. So I had those on, so it was a big thing, but they were very tight on me. CB jeans are very tight. So it was kind of hard just to pull my pants down if I had to go type of thing. Anyway, Connor's talking to me and I was like, bro, I don't feel very well. Like I've got to go. I've got to shit. And then I was like, wait till next stop. If the pain would go away, it would go back. Pain would go away, clenching my bum cheeks together, etc., etc. Sorry, this is so detailed for this podcast episode, but I just no filter here and I like to tell the truth. It is what it is. So anyway, I said, goodbye, Connor. I got to go. And I ran off the train and I seen him wave as the train went past and I ran straight to the toilet at the platform, which was, I think it was Stanmore Station. So I got off at Stanmore Station and I ran straight to the toilet and I went to open it and it was locked. And I was like, are you kidding? It's nighttime now, by the way. Like I said, it's like 9:30 at night. I was like, oh my God, it's locked. Are you serious? Now, at Stanmore Station, there is no pubs around or anything like that I could just run to. So I had to, anyone that knows it, I had to go underneath the bridge and I started running towards home, which was very uphill. Now, I was like, wow, this is it. This is how I shit myself and I'm still far from home. Like there was no way I was like, anyone that knows when they need to go to the toilet kind of like always activates me when you're doing your grocery shopping, you got your shopping in your hand and suddenly you need to shit. And it's like your hands are like holding and you're doing the power walk, the power walk they do in the Olympics and you're clenching it together and you can kind of know that you can hold it, but you are walking weird. I couldn't even do that. I was like, oh my God, it's literally going to fall out. So I think it was like Stanmore Public School on my left and they had this like electricity box, those big green boxes that electricity boxes, I don't know, they hold electricity, I guess, the power. I was like, wow, I could just go in between the school of the fence and electricity box, pull my Subi jeans that are really tight down. That was another thing I was thinking in my head. How am I going to pull my pants down just to shit and just get it out and then just pull up my pants and just have like skid marks the whole way home and deal with that when I get home. That was the option I had in my head. I was like, sweet. It was that bad that I put my mind through that. And I'm like, this is what you just need to do right now. Like, this is it. This is your only option and it's your safest option. So I went to go do it. And then I just looked at the school and I was like, nah, I'm going to be that person that ends up on CCTV cameras on the Channel 9 News shitting in front of a public school. And it will like show my face and reveal me. And it will go viral and it'll be the most embarrassing. It would just be awful in so many ways. That's the vision that went through my head. So I went, I can't do it. So I didn't do that. And I kept kind of like to power walk. I couldn't run because if I ran, it would like open my bum and I just thought it was going to fall out. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, can I just walk and just let it all out? Like, no, I can't. Like, it would literally be like, if I did that with the Subi jeans on, when you have a hose and you put your finger over the hose to make the water spray harder, that's the vision I had in my head of the poo coming out with my Subi jeans on. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm way too far from home. So then I seen the light on at someone's house and I was like, you know what? There's some good people in the world. Like, this is once again how desperate I got. I'm going to knock on that door, introduce myself and say, hello, could I please use your toilet? I know this is really weird right now and I'm a stranger, but I'm literally going to shit myself. And I was thinking of the nicest way to say it. But then I thought to myself, and once again, you get so desperate in these times of shitting yourself because there's no other option. And I was there. I walked up to the front door with the light. I was ready to knock. And then the thought that went in my head was, would I let someone in my house of a man knocking on my door that says I'm going to shit myself and let them in my house? Fuck no. Hell no. I'm a germaphobe. I don't want some random shitting in my house like that. Fair enough if I live in the middle of the woods or something. No, even that's scary. But like, we're in the city. Nah, I wouldn't do it. So I'm like, they're not going to let me. I'm not some white guy where I look innocent. I look dodgy. So that didn't happen. So I'm not even really religious. I'm walking home. I'm now praying to God. Please make me not poo myself. God, please make me not poo myself. Please. If I have a guardian angel, please make me not poo myself. And that's how desperate I got. I am now praying to whatever's out there because that's how much pain I was in. And I was literally about to shit myself. And I could see my house and I'm getting closer and I'm getting closer. And I had one more street and I got over. I'm like, this is it. I'm fine. I can hold this. And I had to walk up spiral stairs to get up to my place. And I got to my building and I walked up my stairs. And as I walked up my stairs, I shat myself. And it's a feeling that I never want to experience again. Like I said, it was like the finger over the hose spraying out like that. I had the tight jeans on. It wasn't like solid poo. I felt it was just diarrhea that was just kind of going out of the undies and into the jeans. I'm so sorry for being disgusting, but I've got to tell the truth. This is what I went through. And I just wanted to hurry up so it didn't go all the way to the ankles and fall out of my shoes and be through the building and stuff, which it didn't. So I was kind of holding it in my undies and just going, like, it was just, oh God, I just don't even want to. I can't believe I'm even sharing this, but you know what? I'm an open book, and yeah, anyone that's needed to shit or has shat themselves before, it's so like a horror movie. Like, I got the keys to my front door and suddenly your keys don't work. Like, it just, why is not my keys not working? How come it doesn't fit in this hole? I'm then looking at the key. Is this the right key? Like now I know in horror films when a serial killer's chasing you and the keys don't work, it's just because they're so stressed out that it just is not working. Because my keys didn't work. I dropped them. I picked it up. I bent over. More poo falls out. Oh God, it was horrible. So yeah, I finally got the door open and I chucked the keys and I ran straight into the shower. And do you know how hard it is to take off skinny legs, Subi jeans that are already tight for you when you've lost weight and you've shat yourself as well? Like, it was like I had an audience watching me and I was like so ashamed of myself. I was so ashamed of myself because it was so hard to get out, and there was like chunks of carrots and zucchini and corn, and thank God it wasn't like log poo, but it was like diarrhea poo of like chunks of food. I know this is so disgusting. Anyway, I took off all the clothes. I got a garbage bag in the shower and I put everything in there. This needs to be chucked away. And I had a shower and just kind of washed off. It was weird. It was like those movies when someone's like killed someone or like a serial killer or something and they've got the blood all over their body and they just stand there and they're in shock. That's how I felt. Like, I felt like I've murdered someone or something, or there's been a murder or something, because I just stood there. But instead of blood, it was just like chunks of food and diarrhea just washing down the drain. And I'm just looking at it, just so disgusted and embarrassed in myself. And I'm like, oh my God, I shat myself. So then I finished up, cleaned up all the bathroom, and I put that garbage bag inside of another garbage bag. Those clothes will never be washed again because I also live in a studio, so you can't even have a washing machine here. You got to go to a laundromat. So I didn't even have that option as well. As you could imagine, that's so annoying. So those clothes had to be chucked away in the jeans. So then I put them in a garbage bag, inside another garbage bag, and another garbage bag. Had a shower, got all dressed, and then I was like, all right, I need to get rid of this. So, where I live in the city, there's all the big alleyways with all the big giant industrial bins. Now, I don't want that in my industrial bin, so I went down to another person's bin, and I put like a black hoodie on. I don't know why. I was like disguising myself. Like, I was just so disgusted, and it was nighttime. Now it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I was putting that clothes that was in a bin in someone else's bin, and like the way that I got rid of it, looking around with like my hoodie, black jumper on, it was literally like a serial killer like hiding a body or something. I was so nervous. I was shaking. I got rid of it. I like closed the lid. I walked back up to my apartment, and it was just awful. Anyway, for anyone else who shat themselves, you probably know what I'm going through. I've told this story to all my friends, and that is like, son, have you not shat yourself before? I'm like, no, not really, not as an adult. And they're like, it's awful, isn't it? So I'm glad to know that I've what I went through, other people have gone through. You feel so ashamed for yourself. One of my mates, just quickly, FYI, that I told this story to, it made me feel better because I felt like his story was worse, but he told me his story. He shat himself when he was at a party. So like, he's at a house party. Someone's given him some drugs and it made him get diarrhea straight away where you need to use the toilet. So he was high, raced for the toilet, went upstairs and finally found it, locked the door. And as he got onto the toilet, he sat on the toilet and he shat. And he said his poo just started spraying like on the walls, up everywhere. It's like, what's going on? And once you've released, you can't stop it halfway through. And he's high on drugs. he realized that when he finally sat on the toilet and let it go, the toilet seat was down. So his poos just shat and just started spraying out once again, like the finger over the hose, like I said. But that made me feel so much better, where he had people going, hey, is someone in the toilet? Like, 1 second, please. Like, you're at a house party. How do you, at least I'm at my own house. I live by myself. Like, you know what I mean? The way I had to deal with it. He's at a house party where people are lining up to go to the toilet and you just shat yourself with like shit going up the wall. Like, where do you even go from there? I don't even know. I don't even think I asked questions because I was... Anyway, that's how I shat myself. So that's my true tall tale for this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry to share that with you, but you know what? Sometimes it's good to hear the real shit. If you have a shit story, please write into truetalltalespodcast@gmail.com, or if you have any story you want to share or you want to come on the show as a guest, please reach out to me on any of my socials or truetalltalespodcast@gmail.com, and I will reply back and we'll get you there. But thank you for tuning in. My name is Sonny Boy. You're listening to Triple T. Adios amigos. We'll speak to you soon. Be good to your mum and dad. Give them a call. Give your family a call. Give your friends a call. Stay in touch. Be safe and be positive. We need some more positivity out there. Adios. Bye, guys.